to Anything Goes podcast. I'm your host, Kombat AllStar, as usual. Random Girl is feeling sick today, so she's not going to be a part of the podcast. So it's just going to be me. But it's cool. We're going to hang out, chill, talk about cool stuff like we always do. This week there wasn't a lot going on, so I figured I'd find something that's a really good topic that I think is, it's really cool. Last podcast I think was awesome. So yeah, this podcast, why not? I mean, there's nothing really going on, so why not? Anything goes, right? So today I actually want to talk about the film festival industry, or just independent, the independent scene, I guess, or just that world and that business. So I was searching online a couple days ago, just messing around, I guess, and I stumbled across an article talking about independent films, and they were talking about how it was today isn't like how it used to be, and the article mentioned a movie called I think it's called Official Rejection. Let me check it out. Official Rejection, and it's basically a filmmaker trying to get his film called 10 Till Noon into a film festival, and he kind of document. It's kind of like a documentary, so he documents what happens and and it's like a real eye opener, and it's really cool because it has a lot of well-known actors and actresses that are being interviewed, like Kevin Smith. The list goes on and on. Danny Trejo's in it. Let's see, Marshall Cook. There's just a lot of people. I'll give you guys a link below so you can see everybody who's in it. But a lot of people that they're interviewing and talking to while this guy is actually trying to put his film into a film festival are people that are like really well known for starting off on the indies and making it big. So they talk to those guys, and there's a lot of really cool clips in there too. And one of the things that one of the clips on IMDb is Kevin Smith. He's talking about how his movie Clerks, was he thinks it's an awesome movie. Of course he did, but he was able to do it back then because there wasn't a lot of competition. It was just kind of couple of guys messing around, and they could put a film out there, and it wasn't a lot of people weren't doing it. So nowadays everybody's doing it. Not only that, he's saying that a lot of big studios are like sinking $100,000 or into a movie, or maybe like $1 million into a movie. Oh, that's independent, and submitting into these film festivals. So it's gotten like really competitive. He was talking about how like Sundance, even that, people used to get discovered. And
okay, I just had to come back because
I thought you were sick.
No, I don't feel well. Yeah, but this is one of my favorite subject and topics. You know that, Combat.
Okay.
I'm an independent fan, independent film fan. Continue, Combat.
So so he's talking about how his movie is an awesome movie, but if he were to release it at this time, it would have never made it to a festival.
Overshadowed, exactly.
So he was saying he was talking truth. You guys know Kevin Smith, talking very truthfully about how it is, how difficult it is. And then the article that I was reading that referred me to this documentary, they were saying that they got into a film festival because they knew a person that knew a person, and they didn't have to pay a fee, and they just got in that way.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
And you know what? I became a fan of independent film back in 2009, I think it was. This is when IFC and Sundance was just put on TV. I don't know how long it was actually out, really, but I found out about it 2009. And this came at a time where all these mainstream movies, it was all the same thing. Reboot. Nothing was original. So when I found Sundance and IFC, I was like, thank you, a breath of fresh air. The ideas were so new and fresh, and you could tell the artists and the movie makers behind it, you could tell they were trying to get their idea across. It's funny, Combat says that, the independent movies, I don't know, I feel like they just rush it out just to get their name out there. You don't feel it. The heart is not in it the way it was before.
Right.
Yeah.
And even there was another clip on there on the Official Rejection movie, and it was a guy who actually runs a film festival. And he was saying, yeah, I have this film festival, but of course I take bribes. So it's kind of a weird place to be, because now there's so much competition that your film may not be looked at, or the volume is so much. Even though there's like hundreds of thousands of festivals, like there's still like many more people submitting into these festivals, and it's really hard to get noticed and get your name out there. And it's sad because we're at a time where there's reboots for everything. Hollywood has they have lost their minds and they are just
The Matrix.
taking
What
old
the
idea.
frick is that about?
Yeah.
That never needs to be rebooted. Whose stupid idea was that?
Yep.
That's a dumb idea.
And if you guys didn't know, they're rebooting The Matrix. They already, I think WB talked to Keanu Reeves about possibly being in it, but he said he wouldn't be in it without the Wachowskis, and the Wachowskis are definitely not doing it. So it's just it's a weird place to be.
Okay, I thought the Wachowskis was going to be a part of it.
Nope.
That's a slap in the face and that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Some things don't need to be touched.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah, it's not even. I understand like rebooting for a new generation, but that's not even that old. Like,
it's not old, and the thing is, they're becoming lazy, and it's cheap, and it's becoming redundant. You get what I mean?
Right.
I feel like not even supporting a remake or a reboot ever again. I'm a movie buff. I remember when the movies used to come out in 1920s, 1930s. They'll wait 30 years and then do the reboot. So it would you'd have to be a bit older, and then it needs to be refreshed. So that's good. Now they wait a good 10 years. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They try to do it with Charm. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't like it.
Was that successful? Did they actually reboot Charmed?
I know it was a big controversy over. The girls didn't like it. Did they ever do it?
I'm not. I know that it's not been done, but I don't know if.
Not only do you make the actor and
still
actress
plan on doing it or not.
Not only do you make the actor and actress feel like super old. I mean, the show just literally stopped like a few years ago. They decided to reboot, but it's lazy. Come up with new ideas. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, and this just a spoiler alert here. I do indie films, and actually I'm a judge for a festival.
Yeah.
I won't name the festival, but I'm a judge for independent film festival, and the stuff that I see that comes in, a lot of it is really good stuff. Mm-hmm. Really stuff that I would never think of. Mm-hmm. Stuff that very creative, and it's like I wish it was like the days of old, like Kevin Smith was talking about when he did Clerks. And being able to put that out there and then someone picking it up and then that goes and becomes a big movie. That's how it should be. Like why is Hollywood, why are the bigwigs not doing that stuff? Why are they remaking things that happened like 10 years ago instead of going to these film festivals, getting these young hungry artists that are going to get some new innovative awesome stuff out there. And I don't get why that's not a thing anymore. Like, exactly. Why these big, I didn't even know that these big Hollywood pictures or studios are submitting these quote unquote independent films to these festivals and dropping money on it. I didn't know until Kevin Smith said it.
But it's not independent then.
But their definition,
so they're funding it.
Their definition of independent is like how much money you spend. So if you're a big studio and you're able to hire like Jack Black and Jim Carrey or whatever, and it's an independent, quote unquote independent film because they decided to take a huge pay cut, and that's what their definition of independent is, which is insane.
So they're kind of being bullies because they have bigger money.
Right. And those guys are going to be shown at Sundance. Like all the big film festivals from back in the day, they got people that were the launching pad for people. It's now like the Hollywood independent definition.
I feel like everything's hoarded.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird space to be.
And Kevin Smith is an independent dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does. I mean, same with like Robert Rodriguez, who I think is an awesome guy. And I think it was one of the articles I was reading. The guy was saying in the article he was an independent filmmaker as well, and he was saying that if the stuff that he really likes that got him into films, like I think he said one of Steven Spielberg's movie. It was great and it had a lot of good elements in it, but in this day and age, it would not have made it to festivals. It wouldn't have, he wouldn't have been a director. Like he wouldn't have been that big star because of the things that got him there. And it's sad. It's kind of sad.
It's ridiculous.
So
nothing is sacred. Nothing is good. Nothing is original.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened? I mean, from the 1900s to I don't freaking know when the movie started getting whack.
And there's so much original stuff out there.
Yeah.
And I was one of those guys, back in the day, everything's already been done. But, as being a judge and, doing my own films myself, it has not.
And yeah, as long as there's going to be people on the planet, I mean, there's always going to be new ideas.
Yeah, and people can take old ideas and old concepts and twist
and spin them around, exactly.
I was
just going to say that.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was one, I'm not going to name the name of the festival, I'm not going to name the name of the film, even though I do want to give this guy props, but, as a judge, I can't do that.
We'll just say it was a good...
So, the concept of this was, he would, anytime he would go back to sleep, he would lose hours. So, he would if he went to sleep, he would go back a couple hours, or the longer he slept, the more in the past he would go. So he basically had this girlfriend. He messed things up, and he kept trying to go back to the date and fix it because his roommate said that's a good idea. Then he just went back to the beginning of the relationship and started new.
So that's not losing hours, you're gaining hours. Because you would lose them if every time you went to sleep, time passed.
No, but he doesn't want to. He wants to go forward, so he's losing time.
All right.
I see what you're saying though. It could go either way, but I mean that was basically the concept of it, and it was.
That's very interesting.
It was interesting. It was like a twist on like Groundhog's Day. Same concept, same idea, but it was done differently, and it was done differently enough that it was a new thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it stood on its own foot.
Yeah, and that's just one project. I mean, that's one film. Even Rise of the Avalanche, the film that I did, how many different noir type films have been out there, and then something like that to come out where you have a guy that's in the future with flying cars and everything.
That's a good spin.
But then it's shot like it's back in the day, and you have guns that are very futuristic. You have it's a mix of old and new, and it's been done with Metropolis. It's been done with a few other films.
But when you watch it, you don't feel like another crime noir movie because it's so different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's so much of a twist on it, so much of a spin on it that becomes its new thing and a fresh thing. Yeah. So I mean, as long as you can continue to do that, there's always going to be new ideas. Exactly. No one's ever going to run out of new ideas. Exactly. So I don't understand why. I hope people get really angry and upset, and I hope they stop supporting these reboots. Yeah. And I don't know why Hollywood continues to do this reboots.
Well, because people and why do people keep watching? That's the thing. Stop supporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can understand to a point doing comic book movies or doing movies of old, TV shows like Transformers and stuff like that.
People get tired of those superhero movies too.
Yeah, but again, it's getting old. It's like it's flooding the market.
Yeah.
So we need
it's like stuff. Yeah, it's like okay, superhero movies are hot. It's good to know that they're on the scene right now because they weren't back in the day. But it's like change it up every once in a while. You know what I mean? Have about three or four superhero movies, and then hit us up with some sci-fi or action adventure. There's no good action movies out either.
Yeah. And I mean, I have a ton of ideas for that I'm going to be doing in the future. But I'm just one guy, and how many people are here on this planet?
Exactly.
You mean there's not a new idea between anybody?
I'm sure there is.
And that's the thing. Like if these film festivals, a lot of their stuff's not being shown or not being looked at because of the volume. And how are you going to get those new ideas to, the masses? Like, I mean, Kung Fury was awesome. I mean, there's a bunch of distribution out there. Amazon Video's doing their thing, trying to get filmmakers distributed. There's a lot of different companies that are doing that, but this stuff costs a lot of money. Again, it comes down to money. And if it's Hollywood's definition of independent films, the only ideas out there seen are going to be the ideas that we've seen already.
Hollywood independent doesn't even sound right.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If Universal Studios goes out there and we have an independent film. No, dude, you're Universal. Paramount Pictures, the same thing. You can't do that. Like it doesn't make it. If I go to do a film festival
anymore.
If I go to a film festival and I see Paramount's logo, I'm not going to think it's independent anymore.
No.
So I don't know. It's just it's a weird, strange space to be in. And even the documentary I keep going back to, they were saying you can find success with small festivals. And get it out there that way.
Unless
first year festivals.
Unless what they can do is I think what you said earlier. These bigger companies like Universal Studios, Paramount, MGM, all those companies. What they can do is look into these independent writers. See, actually, they have talent and want to help them get their movies on screen. Think that'd be a good idea?
Yeah, there is. And I think that's a great idea. And it's funny that you say that because I did see a film festival recently that is put on by NBC Universal. So it's the big guys looking for something. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but
help out the little guys.
Right. If someone wins an award or someone gets accepted or you see something that's awesome, take it. Pay the guy, give him the resources, have him make his movie the way he wants to for you, and boom, you got something new and original. So
just help them out.
Yeah, that's all. All it needs is a little bit of help.
Exactly, so. And I think that's really the best idea because if you keep it independent, it's only going to be selected for a smaller amount. Now, if a bigger company picks them up, like what I mentioned, MGM or any of them, then it will be on a worldwide basis, and everyone will know the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And there's no reason.
An independent movie, all it means is like it's an independent idea. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the bigger studios could pick them up.
Yeah, and then I mean, why not every movie studio? Why can't MGM, Paramount? Why can't all those movie studios have their own film festivals? Mm-hmm. It's free to get into. They obviously don't need the money to run the festival.
And everybody will win.
Yeah, and I mean, you go in there, you get shown, and then maybe first prize or best short or best feature, best drama. They get to be made into a bigger budget movie.
And that's why I like Netflix. It's an app, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's why I like Netflix, because they accept all. I've seen so many like small independent movies, like 5-minute shorts on there, and major movies. They accept everything that's diverse. That's why I like Netflix so much. Maybe more movie studios need to be like that.
That'd be good. Netflix, Hulu. I mean, there's a ton of streaming services out there now.
Very innovative, but it can happen. Why not? It needs
definitely.
to. Yeah.
So
stop separating everything and come behind.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good ideas out there. I'm tired of. It's what I love comic books. Like Random Girl can attest.
Oh yeah.
I love comics, but that is not the only genre of movie that can be made. Like,
exactly.
There can be other stuff.
Comedy, comedy, sci-fi. The genres out there.
Yeah. There's more Gene Roddenberry's out there. You can have good sci-fi. You can have good original stories.
Romance. I don't even do romance, but do romance. There's people out there that love it.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say on the topic? I mean, I'm pretty much spent on this, but...
No more reboots.
Yeah. And we'd like to see, what do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about, all the information I just dropped on you about the indie scene? What do you think about Hollywood and the reboots? What do you think about all of that stuff? I mean,
the reboots are going to pretty much turn into sequels, dude. Done every 2 years.
Yeah.
It's going to turn ridiculous.
It's crazy. They even reboot, so I don't know. But anyway, like, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think in the comments below about everything we talked about. And truly, until next time.
Peace out.
So long.